For the most part, people remain upbeat here at the Hyatt in downtown Columbus. They remain very confident. They knew that this was going to be a tough battle here in Ohio. They knew this was going to go down to the wire, even nationally, as they see these numbers come in. Again, let's take a look at those numbers here in Ohio. As you see, 53% for Donald Trump, 43% for Hillary Clinton. That is the reality that these folks here are staring at tonight. The chairman of the party saying to me earlier he thought the ground game, a strong ground game, would carry Clinton over the top. As you see, it did not. Here's what supporters are saying at this hour about the presidential contest.
Obviously, don't like Clinton down 10% right now. I guess the biggest thing I'm trying to figure out if Cuyahoga County's been reported in yet, because that could really change it.
It's a lot closer than what I thought. It's really surprising.
I think it's playing out as expected. It's still a little early to say, so just kind of hanging tight and waiting to the conclusion of the whole matter.
Well, again, they hope the conclusion is better than those numbers that they're seeing right now in Ohio. You know, you heard John talk about earlier the contest between former Governor Ted Strickland and Rob Portman. Another tough battle, big defeat for the Democrats. As a matter of fact, we learned early about that. And so, you know, this was tough for the governor. He said that he was disappointed, but at the same time, he understood that this was a tough hill to climb, going up against someone as popular as Rob Portman, the incumbent. He said there was a lot of money that was poured into the state that also benefited his opponent. But here's what he had to say when we talked to him after he talked to the crowd.
Listen, life unfolds. And I've experienced a lot in my life. I've experienced great joy. I've experienced disappointment at times. And I try not to take myself too seriously, but I try to take the issues I care about seriously. And I care about working people and sick people and young people and children and working people. And I'll continue to care about those people regardless of whether I'm in office or out of office.
And those of us who have followed the former governor for a long time know that that is exactly what he will do. He will stay involved. As far as his friend, longtime friend Hillary Clinton, obviously he's known her for 25 plus years, optimistic that she will still come out on top. You would expect him to say that. Reporting live in Columbus, I'm Curtis Fuller, WLWT News 5.
Curtis, quickly before you go, you know, in the last few weeks there has been a huge push by the Clinton campaign to get people out to the polls. I hope you can hear me here. What are they saying about voter turnout tonight?
You know, overall, Cherie, they were pleased with voter turnout. There was a big concern, and they've talked about this, even filed suit some time ago about this, and you know, people might wonder, why is there only one voting poll open in Hamilton County, for example, at the Board of Elections? You know, that those long lines might look like a nice picture on television, but the reality is, David Pepper said there is no reason people should have to stand in line for 2 or 3 hours to vote. And so that, win or lose, that is something we can expect to see them really challenge in the months ahead to change that. Right now, only one voting poll can be open in every county throughout the state of Ohio, and folks here said they are not pleased with that. Cherie?
Curtis Fuller live for us tonight in Columbus with the Clinton campaign. Curtis, thank you.
We have triple team coverage there in our state capital of Columbus. A big win tonight in the state of Ohio for Donald Trump. WLWT News 5's Brian Hamrick is there in Columbus with the Trump campaign and their reaction.
Well, this room exploded with cheers when Donald Trump was announced as a projected winner in Ohio. Now, this was a very tight race, but the people here feel like they have been defying projections all night long, and they all seem to feel like they're holding a newspaper that says Dewey defeats Truman here. Now, they have been watching the other states that are in play very intensely, cheering as states go up with Trump leading here. Now, this is a party that was for the supporters of Trump, the one that were going out and knocking on doors and calling people. And in fact, they told them to stay on the job. Even though the party here started at 7 this evening, they told them to stay out there until 7:30, continuing on the job, because they knew turnout was going to be very important here in Ohio, and it turned out it was. Brian Hamrick, WLWT News 5.
All right, Brian, thank you. So if you're following at home, Donald Trump, the projected winner in Ohio. The AP says he's the winner in Florida, and now another key state, the winner in North Carolina, according to NBC News. Donald Trump will win North Carolina. Michigan right now, another key state, too close to call.
How is Trump getting these wins? In Ohio, the victory came in many of the rural areas.
WLWT News 5's investigative reporter Todd Dykes here with a breakdown of how each county voted. Todd?
Yeah, Mike and Sharia have been tracking this all night. The reason for Trump as the projected winner can be seen when you start drilling down into this map you see right here of the Buckeye State, broken down by county. It's a sea of red, and it looks pretty daunting for Clinton to overcome. But Barack Obama faced basically the same thing in 2012. So how did he win in Ohio? Well, by winning bigger in the blue areas you see here than Mitt Romney did in the red areas. Much different story this go round. For example, Clinton only has about 130,000 vote advantage in Cuyahoga County right now. That's the Cleveland area vote still coming in. But Obama won that by more than 235,000 votes in 2012. Meanwhile, Trump doing at least as well as Romney did in all of these red counties, many of the rural counties, and likely even better. So Clinton is not performing as well as President Obama did, and not opening up enough of a big lead. That's allowing Trump to take the lead by winning those rural areas. In fact, he's leading in 80 of Ohio's 88 counties right now. That includes most of the counties right here in Greater Cincinnati.